Hello everyone. Here I am going to give you example of Nyquist stability criteria numerical. That means I am giving you a open loop transfer function and I show you how we can able to determine the closed loop stability using the principle of argument. Now generally we divide the Nyquist contour, we divide these problems in 3-section Nyquist contour or 4-section Nyquist contour. I am going to give you examples on 3 sections Nyquist contour and 4-section Nyquist contour. This example is on 3-section Nyquist contour. Before that, what you have to understand, what is Nyquist contour and where we should use 3-section Nyquist contour. Okay, what we have understand that in Nyquist criteria, stability criteria depends upon conformal mapping, where for different values in S-plane we expect values of GSHS plane. So for different values of S-plane we are going to draw the shape of the contour in GSHS plane. That's why we need to take the Nyquist contour as like the S-plane. In S-plane, what we are going to do as we have to consider the poles, open loop poles in the right hand side. We will encircle all the points of S-plane, right hand side points of S-plane. We will encircle in clockwise direction entire right hand side of S-plane. What we are going to encircle entire right hand side of S-plane, and this we will going to divide into 3 sections. Why? Because we will take all the values of S and we will actually get what are the unique values of GSHS for all those points, right? Now what is the beauty that we will not take all the points, we will only take the limiting values. What are the limiting values? Here you can find that the value of the singular points are S equal to 2, S equal to -1 and S equal to +1. So if I go through this j omega line and if I go to the if I take the radius r tending to infinity, I will not collide with these any 3 points. So as per our discussion, we know we can take any S-plane, any S value except the singular points. So for this type of examples where you are not colliding with any of the S-plane and the value of S-plane are real and they are in this way, how we can go? We are going to encircle the entire right hand side of S-plane from origin, that is we will take the value of S equal to j omega. Okay, we are going to take the value of S equal to 0, angle we know if I take it in a polar form I have to take the angle, this is my 90-degree axis. Okay, so this is my 90-degree axis. I am going to take the value 0 at an angle 90-degree. From here I will take the value of S equal to infinity. I will take the value of S equal to infinity in 90-degree axis, that means in this axis. From here I will go in clockwise direction. This radius is tending to infinity. I will come to S equal to -infinity. That means I will come to infinity at an angle -90 degree. Okay, and from here I will go towards this point. What is this point? This point is S equal to 0 at an angle minus 90 degree. Okay, now we know that this line is same point, so 0 at an angle 90 degree and 0 at an angle minus 90 degree is almost the same point. So what three sections we are going to take? We will take limiting values of S. We will not take, first thing, when we are drawing for the Nyquist contour, we will take only analytical points. We will take only the limiting points. What limiting points we will take? We will take in the first section, this is my section 1. I will take S equal to 0 at an angle 90 degree to S equal to infinity at an angle plus 90 degree. In the second section, I will take the values from infinity at an angle plus 90 degree to infinity at an angle minus 90 degree. And in the third section, I am going to take the values from minus infinity to minus infinity, that means infinity at an angle minus 90 degree to 0 at an angle minus 90 degree. So these are the these are the 6 points we are going to take, and we will take it in 3 sections. So this is called my Nyquist contour. Nyquist contour of 3 section. Nyquist contour of 3 section with 3 sections. If there is no pole at origin, my Nyquist contour will be consisted with 3 sections. When it will be of 3 sections? If there is no pole at origin. If there is a pole at origin, my Nyquist contour will be composed of 4 sections that I will discuss afterwards. Just understand now how I am going to deal with the problem. First thing, what we have to do? First we have to get the value of poles. What is P? P is open loop poles in the right hand side of S plane. So how many open loop poles? In the right hand side there are 2 open loop poles, but in right hand side it is only 1. So here P will be 1. Now, so P we have get from the equation. Now, what we have to get? We have to get from this Nyquist contour, we have to get the encirclement of minus 1 plus j0 point. So, we have to draw the diagram, Nyquist diagram. And then we can comment on Z. So, then the next step is to draw the encirclement in. For that, what we have to do? Okay, so my transfer function was GSHS equal to S plus 2 upon S plus 1 into S minus 1. This was my transfer function. What we have to do? We have to take the modulus and the argument for 2 limiting values. So first take limit S tending to 0 and find the value of modulus and argument of GSHS. What is modulus? Mod of GS, if I put S equal to j omega, then what we are getting? We are getting G j omega H j omega equal to j omega plus 2 j omega plus 1 j omega minus 1. So what you will do? Step 1 is first to do the Nyquist, to draw the Nyquist plot. First you put S equal to j omega in GSHS and get j omega and g j omega and h j omega. Now you get the modulus. What is the modulus? The modulus will be the omega square plus 4 under root divided by omega square plus 1 under root to omega square plus 1 under root. That means what you are getting? You are getting basically omega square plus 4 under root by omega square plus 1. This will be your modulus. Okay. Next, come to the argument. Gj omega, Hj omega. What is that? What is argument? It will be tan inverse of omega by 2 for the upper part minus tan inverse of omega by 1 and minus tan inverse of omega by minus 1. Now, what is omega by minus 1? You know that this is our S-plane, where this part is positive real quantity, this part is negative real quantity. This is plus j omega, this is minus j omega. When we are talking about omega divided by minus 1, that means the omega part is positive, but this part, the real part, is negative. That means it will be at the second quadrant. It will be at second quadrant. So what is our second quadrant? If I draw this angle, suppose this is omega and something, this is 1. So it may be the angle. What is the angle? The total angle will be this. So what is this angle will be? This angle will be 180 degree. This angle will be, if I get this angle, what will be the angle? It will be tan inverse omega by 1. This angle will be tan inverse omega by 1. And what will be this angle? This angle will be 180 degree minus tan inverse omega by 1. So, this part, as it is in the second quadrant, what will be the expression of this angle? This angle is 180 degree minus tan inverse omega by 1. This part is in first quadrant. There is no this such problem. This is also in first quadrant. So there is no this such expression. But this is, as the real quantity is in the negative side, that's why the angle is in the is in the second quadrant. So it will be lesser than 180 degrees. So how we can get that? We can get that in this way. So what will be the final expression? The final expression of the argument will be tan inverse omega by 2 minus tan inverse omega minus 180 degree minus 180 degree minus tan inverse omega. Okay, so finally I am getting that this is becoming plus, so these two cancels and I am getting that it is becoming tan inverse omega by 2 minus 180 degree. So this is my modulus and this is my argument. This is my modulus, this is my argument. Now I have to come here now. So what you have to do? First you do this, put S is equal to j omega, find the modulus, then find the argument. When you are considering the argument, check if the angles, where the angles lie, whether they are in first quadrant, second quadrant or third quadrant. According to that you make your expression and finally we get this modulus and argument. Now you put the limiting values. What is the limiting value? S tending to 0 means omega tending to 0. So here if you put omega tending to 0 and here if you put omega tending to 0, these two omega actually, this omega tending to 0 means 4, here omega tending to 0 means 1, and here also omega tending to 0 means 1. So that means it is becoming 2. So the modulus you are getting is 2 when s is tending to 0. Now when s is tending to 0, what is the argument? Omega is 0. So tan 0 minus 180 degree. 180 degree means, now what we are going to consider here, we will consider when we are using the when we are writing it in the generalized way, we will consider theta equal to 90 degree. We will consider theta equal to 90 degree. So what I am getting? I am getting 180 degree when I am putting omega equal to 0. So as I am considering theta equal to 90 degree, I can write it is minus 180 degree. So minus 180 degree means minus 2 theta. So I will write in the generalized expression, as I am taking the limiting values, it will make my whole system very easier to understand. Only I have to take the argument theta equal to 90 degree. What is the value I am getting? I have to write it in the generalized form, taking the theta angle into consideration. So I am writing it as 2 theta. So the modulus, in case of modulus we will not do, but in case of argument we will do. Okay. Okay, so we have done this step, and next the limiting value what I am going to take is tending to infinity. That means I have to take omega tending to infinity, right? So omega tending to infinity, you put omega value infinity here, infinity here, infinity here. So what we are getting, 2 infinities in the downside and 1 infinity in the up. So we can consider that infinity in the downside is more. That's why it will be nearly equal to 0. So modulus will be 0 when s tending to infinity or omega tending to infinity. What happens here? If you put omega tending to infinity, this means it is actually 90 degree. So 90 degree minus 180 degree. So what you are getting? Minus 90 degree. So minus 90 degree, if you generalize it using theta, it will be minus theta, because we have considered theta equal to theta minus theta. Okay. So we have done the maximum thing. Now what we are going to do? We will just put the contour. We will just take the contour. What is the contour we have taken? We have taken s equal to 0 to s equal to infinity with same angle 90 degrees. So what I am writing, s tending to 0 at an angle 90 degree to s tending to infinity at an angle 90 degree. Okay, so that I am taking in this way. So this is the section 1. This is my section 1. So second section, as per contour, the second section will be, what was that? S tending to, just find it, s tending to s infinity 90 degree to s infinity minus 90 degree. This is my second section. So s infinity 90 degree to s infinity minus 90 degree. This was my second section. And what was the third section? The third section, if you understand, it was s infinity minus 90 to 0 minus 90. So this will be s infinity minus 90 degree to 0 s 0 minus 90. Now what we have to do, we will just put these values for GSHS. So if the value is this 0, that means we are getting the value magnitude is 2. And what is the angle? Angle is minus 2 theta. What is theta? Theta is 90 degrees. So here I have to write it will be minus 180 degree. Okay. Similarly, when this is here, the mapping will at GS will be 2 at an angle minus 180 degree, just from this expression. Now, when the limiting value is infinity, what is GH? GH, mod of GH will be 0 and angle is minus theta. What is theta? Theta is plus 90. So it will be minus 90 degree. Understand? Similarly, when you are going for GH, for this will be same, 0 at an angle minus 90 degree to what is infinity at an angle minus. So infinity means modulus is 0. And what is angle? Angle is minus theta. What is theta? Theta is minus 90. So it will be plus 90 degree. Okay. And GH, next GH. Next GH will start from Next GH will start from 0, 90 degree to GH here will be, this is 0. 0 means 2. And this is minus 2 theta. Theta is minus 90. So it will be plus 180. Right? So that means my mapping has been done. So what is my mapping? Mapping is, if I draw this, what will I get? This is my GH plane. Now, in GH plane, I am getting, this is my 180 degree axis. Okay, here this is 0 degree. If I rotate in anti-clockwise direction, it will be 90 degree. It will be 180 degree. This will be 270 degree. If I go in anti-clockwise direction. But if I go in clockwise direction, this will be my minus 90 degree axis. Then it will be my minus 180 degree axis. And it will be my minus 270 degree axis. So if I go in clockwise direction, the angles will be negative. If I go in anti-clockwise direction, the angles will be positive. Now, it is starting from 2 at an angle minus 80. That means the starting angle is 2 here, somewhere here. So suppose this is 2. This is minus 180. Now it is going to minus 90 degree. So what is the angle of rotation? This is my destination angle. This is my initial angle. Okay. What I will do? I will take destination angle minus initial angle. That means it will be minus 90 degree minus of minus 180 degree. That means it is becoming plus 90 degree. Plus 90 degree means clockwise rotation. Plus angle means clockwise rotation. So it will go clockwise direction. It will go clockwise direction and it will reach at origin at minus 90 degree axis. That means it will reach somewhere here. So it will, in which way it will go? As this direction. So that means in this GH plane we are getting the point somewhere here. The 180 degree plus 180 degree or 2 minus 180 degree is same axis. So this is basically minus 2. Minus 2 means 2 at an angle plus minus 180 degree. Plus minus 180 degree, this axis. Now from here I am going to 0 at an angle minus 90 degree. 0 at an angle minus 90 degree. Minus 90 degree axis is this axis. So how I am going to get? I am going to reach 0 minus 180 degree, 1 minus 90 degree axis. So for that, as I am telling you that this is destination minus initial angle. So it will be minus 90 minus of minus 180. That means plus 180. So it will be equal to plus 90. Plus 90 means anti-clockwise rotation. So it will go in anti-clockwise direction and come to 0 at an angle minus 90 axis. So it will start from 2 at an angle minus 180 degree axis and it will come in anti-clockwise direction here. Okay. Then from 0 at an angle minus 90 degree, it will come to 0 at an angle plus 90 degree. That means from here it will come to here, because this is plus 90 degree axis. If you want to get the rotation here also, you have to use this formula. So 90 degree minus 90, that means plus rotation is plus 180 degree, that means anti-clockwise. So it will come from here to here with a 0 magnitude. So this will be the angle of rotation. Next, from 0 at an angle 90 degree to 180 degree. So it will come here. So the destination will be 180 minus 90. So it will be again a positive angle. Positive angle means it will have this type of encirclement. So this has been, so in this way we are going to get the encirclement of in the GH plane of minus 1 plus J0 point. Definitely, as this is 2, 1 will be here. What is 1? 1 is nothing but this point is actually minus 1 plus J0 point. So this minus 1 plus J0 point has been encircled. So the positive angle means anti-clockwise rotation. Positive, because 0 to plus 90 means 0 to plus 90 degree means positive anti-clockwise rotation. So we are getting here that positive angle. So positive angle means it will be an anti-clockwise rotation. Similarly, here also I have done that the here for for the second section mapping, we are getting it from minus 90 to plus 90. Here also the destination is plus 90 and the initial is minus 90. So 90 minus 90, it is becoming 180. This is also positive angle. Positive angle is minus 180 degree. That means it should be an anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, in the third section also we are getting from 90 to plus 180. So what we are getting? 180 minus 90. This is also a positive angle. So it is also a positive encirclement with magnitude from 0 to 2. So it will come from 0 at an angle plus 90 degree axis. From here it is come in anti-clockwise direction. It will come in anti-clockwise direction and it will come to 2 at an angle plus 180 degree axis. That means here. In this way, what we are getting? We are getting an encirclement of minus here. Now this is 2. As it is 2, obviously one point is within this encirclement. Now as it is in the left half of S-plane, that means this is 1 at an angle minus 180 degree or plus 180 degree, whatever you say. This is basically minus 1 plus J0 point. So this is encircled once in anti-clockwise direction. Now what we have got in our first discussion, that number of encirclement, n means number of encirclement of minus 1 plus J0 point in clockwise way. So here what we are getting? We are getting an encirclement of minus 1 plus J0 point, but it is in the anti-clockwise encirclement. So what we are going to take? We are going to take that here n is equal to 1, but as it is in anti-clockwise direction, it will be minus 1. So we have from this expression we got p equal to 1. From this diagram we got that n equal to our minus 1. So what is the expression of z? Z equal to we know that n equal to z minus p. N equal to z minus p. So from here what we have to find? We have to find z. So z is n plus p. So what is n? N is minus 1. What is p? P is plus 1. So we are getting z equal to 0. So that means what was Z? We have discussed Z means actually closed loop poles of the system, closed loop poles of GSHS, closed loop poles of 1 plus GSHS in right hand side of S-plane. So that means closed loop poles in right hand side of S-plane. Closed loop poles of the system in the right hand side of S-plane. That is basically my Z. So there is no closed loop pole in the right hand side of S-plane. So that means my system will be stable. So this system will be a stable system. Okay. I hope you have understood. So thank you.